everyone, I am Faith King, morning news anchor here at WNYT News Channel 13, joined by the great Kathy Barrans. She is our special projects producer here, and we just got together to really discuss the behind-the-scenes look of one of our latest 13 Investigate stories on a Catskill train trestle. Here, it's a local train trestle. A man reached out to us, and Kathy, you actually brought this project to me with so much passion. I had to do it. Just kind of talk to us about why. Why was this so important for you?
Well, I think since we started 13 Investigates, I really feel strongly that it needs to be responsive to our viewers. So when a viewer reaches out with a question or a concern, I really get passionate about looking into it and finding answers for them. Maybe we get the answers they're looking for, maybe we don't. But I think each question or each inquiry, it warrants our attention. So a man named Kevin Kelly reached out with a letter in the snail mail, which you rarely see those coming in anymore. And he had a concern about this train trestle in Catskill. He said that there's so much vegetation growing up on the pillars. It's like long steel pillars on concrete bases that hold the train tracks, and freight trains are going across them. And he said there's a lot of vegetation growing up, so he can't believe that inspectors can truly see if there's anything compromised on the structure. There are cracks in the base on the concrete. Does that mean it's compromised? We don't know. I'm not an expert. So I took Kevin's information, and he sent us a bunch of pictures as well. And I started asking questions. I reached out to the State Department of Transportation. They told me it's the Federal Railroad Administration. And then the Federal Railroad Administration said they can't give us inspection records, which is initially what I wanted. I wanted to know when it was inspected and what the inspections found. They said we're not allowed to have access to those records. And that shocked me, because in this age of transparency, I'm thinking, why can't the general public, why can't the media get inspection records to know that this structure is safe? You have freight trains driving over it, it's running through a little village. Why can't the average person find out if this is truly safe? We have to take them at their word. Turns out there was a law passed in 2015 called the FAST Act that made those records private. And so we've been trying to get answers to questions, to Kevin's concerns, trying to figure out how this process came to be, how is there not more transparency. All of these things are things that we've been looking into. I'm passionate about it because it matters to Kevin. And Kevin trusts us, and he came to us with this information and asked us to do some digging for him. We have in the media more power than some average people do, or than they realize they do. The Freedom of Information law in New York State is open to everybody, but they don't necessarily feel comfortable using it. So I'm happy to do that. That's our role. That's what we're doing for our viewers, and I love doing what I do.
Right, and I know that's where we really connected on the story. We talked about we live in a world of transparency, or where most people want to be transparent, and we weren't able to get any answers. We ran into so many roadblocks, and we talked about this off the camera, but that was so frustrating to me, but it fueled your fire.
I think when I can't get answers, it's like I have to find a way to solve the puzzle. And if you can't get answers, I think our viewers deserve to hear that.
Absolutely.
If we're hitting roadblocks, sometimes they'll be like, well, why didn't you follow this through? Why didn't you get this information? We can't. And if we're hitting roadblocks, there are also times that I say we're hitting a roadblock and we tell our audience that, and then somebody reaches out and says, no, that's not true. There's this. You can go in it this way. There's always somebody else that can help. It's truly a team process.
Absolutely.
Us here, you and me, our viewers can help out. And the more we communicate the process to them, the more sometimes they can send something to us that's going to help us in the investigation.
Absolutely.
So it's just, for me, a lot of fun. I love solving puzzles. And for me, it's just trying to connect the dots. And it's not that you can't get an answer, it's that you haven't found it yet, so I'm going to keep looking.
Right. And we'll see the actual train trestle. We have so many videos and pictures of the train trestle. We'll see that more at 5 p.m. today on Thursday. But let's just talk about when we actually met up with Kevin Kelly and we saw the train trestle for our own eyes. I remember you were just everywhere. You were going down the hills. You were looking at it. We were both just so in shock. Just explain that moment, to our viewers.
Well, when we got there, I saw a lot of the cracks in the bases of the concrete bases. I saw the vegetation that he was talking about, and I agree with him. Like, how would inspectors be able to truly see the structure? Yet, I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to profess to have the answers. I'm not going to say that, yes, he's right, this has never been inspected and it's in bad shape. I don't know. I'm looking for answers. And if somebody's not giving answers, I'm going to keep pushing to get them. But when I went down there and saw it with my own eyes, his questions became my questions. So I'm even more empowered to ask them and look for answers for him. And he just called yesterday. It's been a long time coming together. I think he's very excited to see it finally make air. And he said he feels like he has a voice, and I like that. I think I love that. That's one of the things it's a service that we can provide to our viewers, and I think it's a valuable service.
Well, Kathy, I appreciate your passion so much. I have so enjoyed becoming a part of this 13 Investigates team with you. Before we end it, how about we just explain what 13 Investigates is? You're kind of, the leader of it.
Well, the leader of it. I like that. 13 Investigates is simply that. We look into things. We have abilities, and we just ask people to email us, to call us, to send a letter in the mail, because the Postal Service still does send letters to the station. But 13 Investigates at WNYT.com, and send us your ideas. Some of them will make it into a big story. Some of them will be something we'll check on, and we'll just do a little 20-second mention. Some of them won't make air, but we will look into all of them, and everyone matters. We're here to serve our viewers. That's exactly what we want to do. And I have loved working with you. I love having a team of people to join me in this journey. I think it just makes us better because it refines the product, it refines the process. This effort is an effort that is a passionate effort. We want to serve our viewers, and that's what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And I have loved the opportunity to work with you. I love your passion as well.
Oh, we're so sweet right now. And just like, Kevin Kelly said, it makes both of us feel so great that he said he feels like he has a voice. And that's our role. That's what we do. That's why we're here.
I totally agree.
Absolutely. And so if you would like to check out that Catskill Creek Investigate story tonight, it'll be starting live at 5, and then we'll continue our coverage at 6 o'clock as well.
And following up as the story develops.
Absolutely.